Alright, we're going to do a real quick oil change on a 1.5 liter Chevy Equinox. This is a 2019 with the all-wheel drive system, but as long as you got that 1.5 in there, should be the same process if you only have a two-wheel drive model. And also this will apply to all the years within range specified in the video title. This one's pretty straightforward and easy to do, but everything you need I'll have linked in the expandable portion under the video. That should include oil and filter as well, maybe a couple different options for both. It calls for 0 weight 20, but in the hot months like what we're going into now, I like to run 5 weight 20 for a little extra protection. Alright, I'm laying under the front of the vehicle. To the left side of the screen is the passenger front tire. Right there's your oil pan and your drain plug that you need to take out. Should be a 15 millimeter, but if somebody switched it out, if it's ever been replaced, it might be a different size. And then right above that is your oil filter. And we're doing the oil filter as I always do with every single oil change. Highly recommend you do both. If you skip the oil filter, which I've done in the past, you can start losing oil pressure over time because they get clogged up with debris and can just start to degrade inside and block the oil passages. So highly recommend you always replace those. And this one is a K&N, as you saw up top. They always have that little 1-inch nut welded onto the bottom there, which makes it extremely easy to get off compared to just about any other oil filter. So I can just put a socket on there and twist that right off. K&N offers not only superior protection, but they always have that little nut on the bottom, which I'm pretty sure they patented because I've never seen that on any other brand of oil filter. But anyway, sometimes those can be really tight. You can't get them off by hand, and that's where you'll need a oil filter tool that'll clamp down on it for you and allow you to twist it off. So I have some of those linked under the expandable portion of the video as well if you need one of those. But if you go with K&N like I use, you never have to worry about that because it's got the nut welded on the bottom there. You got to put the new filter on. Be sure to remove your plastic cover there. And I like to take a drop or two of the fresh clean oil, put it on my finger and rub that little washer there. Some people say it's not necessary, but I find it helps keep those from getting seized on there super freaking tight. Just a little bit of lubrication there and they'll be easier to remove the next time. And then you just screw it on there hand tight, nice and snug, about what you can do with one hand, giving it a pretty good grip and turning her on there. So I got my new filter on there. Don't forget your bolt. You see that little blue washer there? Sometimes they're silver, sometimes they're copper. I always recommend replacing that because it's kind of like a little crush washer. Make sure it seals and you don't have any leaks, but I was not provided with one for this job, so we're reusing the old one. But again, if you want to ensure you don't have any leaks, it's best to replace that every time, and I'll have that under the video as well. And then wipe off any excess oil and you're done down here. The torque spec for that drain bolt is on the screen, but if you don't have a torque wrench, any average size wrench or average small size 3/8 inch drive, ratchet on your 15 millimeter socket there. Just get them nice and snug with one of those, not hulked on there. Just a decent little snug to it and you should be alright, but the torque spec's on the screen if you do have a torque wrench. Okay, then you take your cap off here. You want to fill her up with a funnel so you don't spill. This little 1.5 here takes 5.3 quarts. 5.3 for the all-wheel drive models, 4.2 for the non-all-wheel drive. And then you want to give it a good 4 or 5 minutes after you've dumped it all in there to drain down in the oil pan, and then you can pull out your dipstick here, wipe it off once, reinsert it, and then you'll be able to pull it back out, check your level to make sure you're good. So obviously to the right side there is the bottom of the stick. You want it anywhere in that hash mark is good, but generally you want to fill it up to the top of that hash mark that is full. That would be low. Down here or not registering at all would be very low. And you really want to try not to come over the top of the hash mark. A little bit's not going to hurt you, like a few millimeters, but in general try to keep it at the top of that hash mark, but anywhere in those hash marks is safe. So again, everything you need for this job will be linked in that expandable section under the video. If this video helped you out, be sure to leave me a like. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to catch you on the next one.